Hello and welcome to another edition of PlayStation Unchained, the podcast about PlayStation stuff and things. I am your host, news and reviews writer for PSU, Neil Bolt. I am joined by our resident streamer and podcaster extraordinaire, Ben Shillabeer-Hall. How are you doing, Ben?
I am here. Kind of.
And we have PSU superfan, Alfonso Boxill. How are you doing, Alfonso?
I am great, and the reason why I'm great is because today marks 1 year that I have been on the podcast. So, happy anniversary to me!
Oh, I thought you were just really happy because Twitter said that we're Valentine's partners.
Which I saw today. I love it.
It can't get any better, clearly. You've got it made today. Well, that's good to hear. You know, you're part of the furniture now. That's the way we see it. So, may that we salute to many more with you, Alfonso.
Here.
Here. Right. So this week, as you say, it's just us three, and we are discussionless this week, just because it's been a week of illnesses still, and last week I had a cold, which has become another cold. Which, it's good fun. So, and busyness outside of the podcast means that it's harder to think of things. But anyway, doesn't mean we can't do stuff.
Plus, it's that time of year where it's in between Christmas and all the big cool stuff like E3 and that. It's so in that lull couple of months.
Yes, and as we don't tend to deal with new stuff as much anymore, we can't just go, oh, did you hear the rumour about, or did you hear the rumour about, unless we're just talking about it casually, like, hey Ben, did you hear the rumour about Metal Gear Solid HD Collection might have been on PS4, but now it isn't.
Oh my god.
Look at that. I gave you a rumour and it was debunked instantly.
Obviously the rumour just came up from our talking about remakes last week. They listened to our podcast and thought, yes, these folks obviously know the business and it's happening. That means there's a chance for my Cool Spot 3D remake.
Yeah, I getting this out there, we get this on email this week that I assume it's someone trying to leak something, but they're not really doing a great job. They have the longest email address in history with an @hotmail.com, no picture.
That's when you know it's legit.
Yeah. And they send it in Spanish once and then translate it for us handily straight afterwards. They say, this company will be able to make remakes of classic best games like remakes Siphon Filter 123 for PS4, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, 3, 4 for PS4, Tenchu, Parasite Eve, Dino Crisis, among other games for PS4, is PS4 Pro, Xbox One.
Man, they sounded completely legit until we got to the Xbox One.
No, mention, we don't have any clue of what company we're talking about, and
they just make best remakes.
Yeah, I mean, are they asking us are we making it? Because the answer is I could try, but you might be waiting.
If I was remaking Metal Gear, I'm sorry, but I'm really bad at art. So I'm sorry, unless I'm allowed to use the actual texture packs, Snake will now be replaced by Stick Figure.
That sounds like a future podcast game, doesn't it? It's like
Metal Gear.
It can't be. I think it is, but I can't tell. It's drawing a shit.
A high D.
Oh no, it's just a hund.
It's a hoodie.
It's a hund. What's the Korean car doing here? Oh, yeah. It is depressing when you listen to podcasts most of the week and you listen to really professional ones. You think, how do we get away with people listening to us sometimes?
Oh no, it's Volvo Mantis.
I would have gone more with Psycho Mazda.
I heard she's the best in the field. It's Sniper Ford.
Dear. Actually, Volvo Raven, that would have been better, wouldn't it? Dear.
Subaru Fox.
Yeah.
I guess we should stop it. This is just fun now.
Yeah, it could go on forever. Anyway, that's the sort of thing we've been getting since. So, it's nice that we get some correspondence.
Sorry, one sec. I just thought. Sorry, one more last one. I'm sorry, last one.
Go on.
We're going to rename the brand though as well because we don't want to be sued. So we're going to call it Manual Gear Shift.
Well, yeah, this clearly has to be a game, doesn't it? It's you could bring the Gran Turismo. Dear.
Okay, yeah, that's I'm over now.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
As much as I would love to, I would end up taking the entire podcast. Just yeah.
Yeah, and that's fun for us. Probably not so much for everyone else. I mean, who'd want their entire morning commute to be that? I mean, they might.
Well, they're in their cars already, so.
Yeah, well,
or on their bike, or in a taxi, or whatever way they get there.
Let us know next week.
Could be a train.
Yeah. I will get a £5 PSN voucher for the best example of that. At best, Metal Gear character as a car. There you go. There you go. So if anyone does that in the next week and tweets it to me or to the podcast, then the best one will get a £5 PSN voucher. There you go. Competition time. Out the way. Early.
Yeah.
Anyway. What else have we got to talk about? Oh, so much and nothing, as we have just stated already.
That's why we just filled 7 minutes of randomly saying Metal Gear names.
Yeah, this is it. So yeah, as I said, we were completely lacking in things to talk about, so we thought we'd take to the thread names of a popular forum site as questions.
But we're not on Reddit.
Also, yes,
fairly.
So yeah, I'm just going to scroll through, see what there is, and see what's a good question. Yeah, I mean, so I start. Do you have any games that you would consider a 10 out of 10 this generation? For me, and this is in personal terms, forget technical doodahs and this game is buggy as shit, but I still love it to death. Because if you love it to death, it's a 10 to you, isn't it? And it's like yeah. So, for instance, like XCOM 2 and War of the Chosen is a 10 to me because I love it, no matter how janky it can be. What Remains of Edith Finch is a 10 to me, and Persona 5 is a 10 to me. They'd be my three, I'd say. What about you, Ben?
This is kind of challenging for me because I don't really feel like I've had any or many games that I would give 10 this generation at all.
You don't have to have one.
But, of course, What Remains of Edith Finch definitely gets a 10 for me. That's not even a question, that just gets it by default because of how amazing it is. Then I guess I'll go with Stardew Valley. That's a 10, especially
that's
when
close.
the co-op comes out.
Yeah, once the co-op's out, that for me is a 10, no doubt about it.
I want to say Final Fantasy 14, but that's not fair because it was a PS3 game, so...
Yeah, but it still could be a 10 because they've added so much this generation, so...
I guess I'll go with Final Fantasy 14 then. I know it's a cop-out, but it is the game I like. Oh, no! Warframe. Getting ever more popular at the minute, so yeah. So yeah, I want to give Warframe my other 10 out of 10, because although Fantasy 14 does deserve it, I really don't want to give a game that was on the PS3 it, just because of principles.
Yeah.
Even though it does deserve it, it's unlucky.
Yeah. So yeah, just to clarify, as I said before, this is just a personal feeling, not taking into a more critical eye into account on it. Because
because Warframe does have its flaws. Stardew Valley has its flaws.
Yeah,
Edith Finch doesn't have flaws.
I mean, I didn't review Edith Finch, so I can excuse not giving it a 10. But
I had to buy it because of the development team.
Yeah.
I was like, I might buy this. Like, I enjoy it. I'm like, well, now I have to. And then I really did enjoy it, so thank you. You gave me the push.
That is the push.
Hey, if you like trophies, though, I know one 10 out of 10 game.
What's that?
My name is Mayo. Just press X for a bajillion times, and you win.
Yeah. As a category for 10 for being easy for trophies, that's a great way of going.
That's at 11.
What about you, Alfonso?
Uncharted 4 at Thieves' End is a 10. Horizon Zero Dawn is a 10. That's it. That's all I really have so far until the new God of War comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that God of War video that was on the floor of the NBA game?
I did.
Yeah, that was mad. That's for all the talk of there's no advertising and it's coming out soon. It's like, well, there you go. It's like they put it on a floor of a basketball game.
They're worried about advertising of a God of War game. It's God of War game. It advertised itself.
Yeah, it's like Red Dead, isn't it? It's just it'll sell itself.
The what? The what?
Oh, Red Dead.
The what?
Ben. Oh, damn you. I would also throw in Pez, but again, that's the most biased 10 I'll ever give because it's rarely close to a 10. Cool. So, next question. Which console launch, and it doesn't have to be PlayStation, were you most hyped for in your life? For me, it was probably the Dreamcast, followed by the PS3. They were the ones that had me most excited. What about you, Alfonso?
I have to say the PS2 and then the PSP.
Yeah, I could get that with PSP. I was very excited about PSP, and as a system for me, I didn't get delivered till like it was nearly dead with Peace Walker. But it was the idea of it being this handheld PlayStation was like, oh yeah, amazing. That's for sure. Yeah. What about you, Ben?
I'm gonna have to go with the PS3 and PS4. Just because, for some reason, the last few generations have timed just as I move into a new place.
Yeah.
So it's like, new place, new console, yay! So yeah, PS3 and PS4. Though, my favourite console I got was the Mega Drive. That wasn't at launch though, but that was just because it was a Christmas present. I was young.
That was the catalyst for me. That console. But,
I was 4 years old when I got my Mega Drive.
Now I feel old. So I was already in double figures, I think. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, next question. How often do you double dip on a game? Just to clarify, of course, a double dip is like where you buy it once on one console or maybe buy it on another. Would be that in the same generation or over different generations. If it's a game I really love, then a fair bit. Metal Gear, as we were talking earlier, Metal Gear 2 and 3, I've bought multiple times. Shadow of the Colossus, multiple times I've had it, stuff like that. So yeah, if a game's something I really love and it could be improved somewhat by having it, Jack and Daxter, I've now had that on 4 different platforms and finished it on 4 different platforms. So yeah, I do it a fair bit. If it's something I like, why not? It makes sense as long as it's done well. What about you, Ben?
The game I think I've double dipped the most on is God of War. I bought God of War 1 and 2. Then I bought the remasters on PS3. And then when I went to America, they had the God of War Collector's Edition of God of War 3 for cheap, which meant I ended up with another God of War 1 and 2 collection because it came with that. And then someone gave me a copy of God of War 1 and 2 on PS3. And then I went into game one day and they had a spare disc that someone had left around, so I ended up getting another copy of God of War 1 and 2. So I think I've got like 5 copies of that game. For some reason. Another game that I've double dipped on all the time is Final Fantasy 7. I own the PS1 Black Edition, I own the PS1 Platinum Edition, and it came out on PS3, so I bought the remake. Then the PC version came out, so I bought that version. And then the PC remake PS4 version came out, so I bought that version. And I know I'm going to buy the remake when that comes out. I'm going to eventually have 7 copies of Final Fantasy 7.
You just reminded me as well, despite it not even being anywhere close to being my favourite Resident Evil, I've owned Resident Evil 4 on 4 different consoles now.
And Last
GameCube.
of Us.
Yeah.
I've never beaten Last of Us, but I have it on PS3 and PS4.
Yeah, I've also bought GTA 4 and GTA 5 multiple times because I've ended up play it for a lot, sell it for a bit for just to get something new, then buy it again. It's like GTA 4, I did that 5 times, I think.
I remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I think it was, where Sainsbury's had them for £22 on launch day.
Right.
But game was giving 30 quid for pre-owned copies.
Oh.
So I walked into Sainsbury's, bought the 5 copies I was allowed to do, then walked down to Game and sold them all to Game.
Maybe.
Right, here you go. Thanks.
Okay, what about you, Alfonso?
Majority, usually any game that has a physical or digital copy. And the reason why is because most of the time I sell my physical copy to buy other physical copies. Sometimes I don't finish a particular game, so I want to buy it digitally, or just to have it, for nostalgic memories, to go back once in a while just to play it. So is any game that I own, I usually get it digitally. So there's many reasons.
Yeah,
but the most, it has to be God of War as well. I bought that so many times over and over through physical, digital, collector's edition. Yeah, so I see myself doing this again when the new God of War comes out as well.
Yeah, fair enough. Next question is Kingdom Hearts 3 related. See, I told you I'd find something. Are you disappointed in the world selected so far? Alfonso.
Wait, you have to repeat the question?
In Kingdom Hearts 3, are you disappointed with the world selected so far? That would be the Disney representation, I suppose.
Kind of. Yeah. I thought they would have shown more. I thought it would have been better presented. Obviously, it's still on delay, kind of, because they're not really showing much of it. So I'm not going to give my full opinion until it's actually out and everyone can see it. But until then, yeah, 100% disappointed.
Hello, Ben.
What's that? You were breaking up for me, sorry.
Would you care to answer the question?
Yes, because I wanted some Marvel stuff and some Star Wars.
Okay, fair enough. Me, I'm fine. Monsters Inc. Tangled, fine. I don't think we're going to get anything too modern because it's already taken them long enough. So yeah, it'll be a while, I'm sure, before we see anything fresh. But they promise up to at least 9 different worlds, so still got time.
At least 9, it could be more.
All right, Ben. Yes, at least. They do say that it doesn't count out more.
I'm going to go with 10.
10. Oh, dear. Okay, next question is favourite game that you consider the perfect length. So to be like a game that never feels like a slog, you can play multiple times and just it's always easy breezy. For me, original Devil May Cry, I just think everything just moves along at a lovely pace. And probably Jack and Daxter, the Progressor Legacy. What about you, Alfonso?
I'm going to pick Uncharted 4 at the end and Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah. I'm intrigued, I have to say, that you say Uncharted 4. I personally found that the main problem with it was a bit long. But I would have said Lost Legacy felt perfect. Not perfect, but closer to.
No, I felt Lost Legacy felt too short for me. And I beat that quietly quicker than I did Uncharted 4. Which I understand why, Lost Legacy wasn't meant to be a long game. But knowing it's from Naughty Dog and it is an Uncharted game, I thought it would have been quite lengthy, but I didn't feel that way. So yeah, Uncharted 4.
Fair enough.
Uncharted 4 was perfect.
Cool. That's fair enough. Ben?
I'm trying to think of a game which Persona 5.
You 100 hours. Perfect length.
Yeah, it is. It's a perfect length for me. Just
to clarify, Alfonso with the longest Uncharted, and you went with Persona 5. Maybe I shouldn't mention Journey or what remains of Edith Finch being 2-hour games. It's like...
Persona 5, I like it because it does have I know you can't, but it does have that sort of. You can put it down after you've done a dungeon.
Yeah.
You can have a breather, but it's long enough that you can come back and keep playing it. That's why I like it.
Okay. Yeah, I understand. So for you, the gameplay loop is the perfect length for it. Yeah. That one. It's closer to what we said. Yes, yeah, that's a good trade-off. Yeah. So of course, there's been rumours about PSN name changes happening again.
Those
so
scrubs. I picked the best name you can pick, Chili.
Well,
I don't ever change.
The question is, if you could change it, what would you change it to? So I'm guessing you're not going to change it.
No, I wouldn't change it.
What about you, Alfonso?
I won't change mine.
No
The
change?
fact that mine is based around Dragon Ball Z.
No,
No, you see? I bet you won't change
That's
yours
fair
because yours is awesome.
Oh no, I would change it to Son of Venom, just because my son can use it after. So, future proofing.
The sonest of Venom.
Or I would do Larry David's Avatar, which is like my name elsewhere in other things, so a forum name.
See, my thing is the fact that you can customise your real name and then have your real name be shown. I mean, right now my picture is Pickle Rick and my real name is Pickle Rick. So anyone who looks on their friends list that knows my real name sees Pickle Rick.
Just like you were Happy Hulk before.
Yeah, I was Happy Hulk beforehand. So
yeah, this is the thing. I think it's less of an issue now than it was, because if you have people on your friends list, you tend to know them most of the time. No, probably not in your case, Ben.
No, because I get so many friend requests.
Yeah, but if you're that bothered about your name, change it somewhere else. Get a new account.
But please don't keep making new accounts, because I had a friend that I got sick of, because every couple of weeks he made a new account. He had like 60 odd accounts. I'm like, go away, no, stop, make one.
Yeah, I had a friend who goes between consoles all the time. And he never uses the same bloody account each time. He goes, oh, this is my new account. So, why didn't you just use the old one? It has games on it. It's like...
No.
Dear. So that's us all answered that anyway. That's fine.
Yeah.
I
should have given Hatful Boyfriend a 10 out of 10.
Has the value of buying a physical edition of a game become less important, Ben?
No, because I can hold it in my hand and go, ooh, stroke it, and pet it, and go, "You're a good game."
Good game. Good game. Oh dear. What about you, Alfonso?
I have to agree with Ben. Yeah. When you see it, just go, ooh la la.
Yeah. My concern is we are in a very different generation of gamers now coming up that know nothing but digital.
They don't even get, they've never had the experience and true love of buying a video game and then realising you've got to get in your mum's car and drive home to wait to pay your video games. So what you do is you open the box and look at the sexy manual inside. And look at all the pictures and read the stuff in it while you wait and get excited about playing your video game you just bought. Or you got home, you realise you need to poop, and you go, "Oh, I can read the manual while I'm going to poop."
Do you know what? I got a DVD this week, Dario Argento's Suspiria, and when it came to my house, it had a big old booklet in it, just like full of like information and interviews and stuff. It was like, it made me very nostalgic for video games.
It's like porn, but better.
Well, yeah, being a Dario Argento, it is pretty much just porn, but blood as well. Yeah, that's fair. It did make me a little nostalgic for that. I got a question that goes against the earlier question. Games would be better if they were shorter. One that sticks out for me is Alien Isolation and Doom, the 2016 version of Doom. Both, there was a bit too much plotting in that, and Alien Isolation gets silly in the last 4 or 5 hours. What about you, Alfonso? Anything you wish shorter?
I agree with that one as well. And late shift. I think it could have been so much better if it was so much shorter. It got interesting when you played it, but as it dragged on, it got boring and dull.
Yeah. It was like just all the deleted scenes in a movie being stuck back in, sort of thing. In that, it was interesting idea, all the same. What about you, Ben?
Well, a game I reviewed recently. Give me 1 second. I need to take a breath while I try and remember how to say this name properly. Under Night Birth EX dash light comma ST comma. It's a fighting game, but it also has a visual novel for a story mode, and it's a little bit long. I know it's a visual novel, but at the same time, it's still a fighting game. And when I clicked it, I didn't know it was a visual novel, so I'm sat here going, "Oh, this is interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, that's plot development. Oh, that's plot development. When do I get to fight? Plot development, story. 15 minutes later, story. 15 minutes later, more. Is there fighting in this fighting game? Story. Chapter 1 finished. You've unlocked Chapter 2. Okay.
It reminds me of Dynasty Warriors games where it's just like you seem like you're making a lot of progress, and it's like, no, that was Chapter 1.
And there's 11 chapters.
Yeah, and it's just like, but I've been playing for 8 hours. It's like,
no, this is just a cutscene.
Yeah. So.
I was like, okay. I guess this is the visual. And then I looked online. It's like, this is a fighting game mixed with a visual novel. I'm like, okay, I get it now. That's why I didn't take that as a point off, because, I understand it after I found out what it was. I did a bit of research. But before that, I was a little bit confused.
You're not allowed to do research. It's not becoming of a games journalist.
And my other game is Xenoverse 2.
Xenoverse 2.
Just because a lot of the story is copy and paste from the first one, at least the optional missions. So I would have rather either they cut back the content and added other stuff, or just add... The length wasn't too bad. It's just the repetitive of the length. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a lot of it was from the first, in a way. So if it had been new content in the same length, would have been fine. But they could have cut it and just added other stuff with the time they had, more characters or whatever.
They do. Right, next question. Most emotional moment in a video game, or basically the moment that touched you the most. Obviously, this could be a bit spoilerific.
Warning, spoilers.
Warning, yes, there will be spoilers ahead, I'm sure. Ben, anything you can think of straight off the bat?
When Aerith died in Final Fantasy VII.
Well, now you've spoiled that for everyone. That's just terrible. How dare you? Was that like the high point for you, or was it
high point? Yeah, that was the part I thought. Yes, this game is truly magnificent. No, it was just sad. It was probably one of my first, because Final Fantasy VII was my first RPG, so it was kind of my first experience with something like that in a game.
I think mine was like, my first one was like having a crush on one of the female riders in Road Rash, and then being heartbroken when she knocked me off my bike. Like,
tough love, man.
Yeah, it's like learning young. And
I can't say too much because of spoilers and stuff, but a lot of the story in Final Fantasy 14 hit me.
Yeah,
it's not even just the scenes; it's the music. Soken, the guy who directs a lot of the music, he's really good. So that's why that hit me so hard, is because the scenes are great, but the music just makes it with stuff like the music with Susan Calloway doing the voicing. It's just actually, when I was at FanFest in Vegas, where they had her come on stage and do sing one of her songs with the piano, it gave me shivers.
Cool.
So yeah.
I will clarify that, emotional doesn't have to just mean sad anyway. So it's like, it can be just anything that.
Well, it can be anything, but yeah.
It makes you feel something. Several for me. Metal Gear Solid 4's microwave tunnel scene. Just, it was so intense that a guy I was living with at the time, who didn't even know the series or play the game, was cheering along with me as trying to get Snake to crawl through the bloody corridor. It's just like.
Oh, I'm surprised it was either that or the stairs.
The stairs. Well, no, there's loads of Journey. The final part of Journey is just like emotional on multiple levels. Edith Finch has a few, but we've detailed that in an entire podcast. Go back
and go listen, because that's a great. In fact, don't even listen to it. Just go buy the game.
Yeah, and
we can wait a couple of minutes. It's okay.
Yeah. It's like, pause this. Go get the game.
Yeah, pause. We'll wait a second. You bought it yet? Okay, no, keep buying it.
Was it good? Did you enjoy it? Good. Now we can move on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. One that has got me repeatedly, even when I know what's coming, is the first season of the Walking Dead game, Telltale's one. It's two moments. First, the spoilers, the death of Duck earlier in the season, and then later the final sort of episode's last 20 minutes. Just I've played that game multiple times now, and still that ending, just I can't help but get all choked up about it. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, it's a strong game for that. Alfonso, what about you?
I agree. Walking Dead season 1 was very emotional. Those same two scenes, I agree with you with that. Life is Strange, the first season. And then with Max and Chloe, that was heartbreaking. And Final Fantasy Crisis Core, that ending with Zach, and yeah, I cried when I saw that part. But yeah,
that's good choices. Dear. All right, let's see what else we got. I'm behind. I got too invested in talking about that. Actually, for the next question. Yeah, that's it. Just do some.
We'll do sounds while you look at things. So, by the way, Alfonso, it might be just me and you for the Dragon Ball podcast.
That's fine.
No Dragon Ball podcast. If you haven't heard it this week, it'll be out before this one. So there you go. Go listen to that if you're bored of waiting for us to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. It's Will EA, Activision, and Ubisoft have a battle royale game lined up? For the end?
Yes.
All three. Which one is most likely to have one? EA, Activision, and Ubisoft. Ben.
All of them, but I'm going to go with Oh, what's that? Sorry.
No, go on.
I was going to go with EA.
Yeah.
I agree too. EA as well.
Yeah. I mean, Ubisoft
It's
have a
called
game.
Battlefield.
I mean, Ubisoft kind of have one ready if they could work it out in Ghost Recon Wildlands. They could easily turn it into something like that. Well, I say easily. It's like they have a map that would be worthy of it, but if they could fit 100 people doing something on it, it'd be very different indeed.
Whether they have the servers to be able to run it as well. Ubisoft servers aren't exactly the best.
No. To be honest, I don't. Most of them aren't. To be fair, it's becoming increasingly likely that a game servers will be pants most of the time.
Yeah. They would be down fortnightly.
Amazing though, all the problems they had, and they still went ahead of PUBG. Until
To be fair, you want me to come close, Neil?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Free.
I'm right.
It's a free game.
I know,
That
but still,
means-
to come to the party second, offer less in a lot of ways because there's no vehicle stuff. They've clearly.
But the difference is £50 or
Offer.
£0.
Or £50 and on a console that most people aren't on,
Yeah.
or play it on something that's on every console and format that
And
matters.
cross-platform play.
Yeah, well, when it's not supposed to be, yes.
Have they got rid of it again?
Yes, well, it wasn't. It was Ben. Come closer. Come closer. Yeah. It was an accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm doing the air quotes when I say accident because they clearly did it on purpose because they slagged Sony off for it before. But hey, crossplay happened.
Oh no, accidents.
Accidents.
Now we're becoming an ASMR podcast.
Oh baby.
Can we stop being creepy? This is too creepy.
Let me stroke my can.
Dear, gotta love it. Dear.
What we were talking about? Oh yeah, not MOBAs, PUBGers.
Yeah, Battle Royale.
That's it.
When are we going to get a Battle Royale? Battle Royale.
Yeah, that's what I want more.
Yeah, or indeed the Hunger Games. I'm sure that would be like the ultimate one.
I want like the Hunger Games where you're actually hungry and you're
Yeah.
fighting for a sandwich.
I love how culturally, that despite everything that the Hunger Games kind of taking over that idea, that concept, that when it came to games, it still reverted back to being a battle royale genre rather than a Hunger Games genre.
That's true.
Ah, dear.
But yeah, no, I think EA will be the first with Battlefield. I think Battlefield's going to have a mode, at least on PC, where it'll be like 100 people.
Yeah.
Because Battlefield's known for its big maps. It's known for its big amount of players. So you'll be split off into squads of 4, and it'll be 4 versus whatever. The world.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Agreed.
Okay. Next question. If your favourite of the big three, which would be PS4, of course, left the industry, which of the remaining competition would you go with for your gaming fix? Ben.
PC.
Because of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Alfonso?
PC as well. I can't choose something else besides PC.
Nintendo. Yeah.
Like I said, Nintendo would be for me, but at the same time, It's never my main console.
I've literally bought 2 Nintendo things ever. That was a GameCube and a Game Boy Advance.
See, I've got a Game Boy, a Game Boy Advance, a Game Boy Advance SP, a DS, a 3DS, and a N64, GameCube, and a Wii. In fact, I have so many Wiis. That's why I have so many.
I have all of those besides the Wii and the Wii U.
I bought a Wii for a friend, and they didn't want to give it back. Then I bought a Wii for my mum. Then I got...
Oh, it's such children.
Hey, at least I did Wii U.
Oh.
Are you trying to be a cheap IMAX sound effect?
Okay. Box art that totally sold you on buying a game. Has there ever been a case where that's happened for you, Ben?
Ones with boobs on it.
Are we
I don't know.
a cultured podcast?
The ones with libraries on it, then.
The ones with libraries on it. I mean, I would have to have been a child for it to work, because most of after that you kind of read about games more. But
the screenshots on the back and everything else is the more important than the actual cover.
Yeah, but like Streets of Rage.
Yeah,
I think it's the first one where it was like, wow, I like the look of this front cover. I want this game. Yeah, eventually got that game.
I used to love the pharmacy covers because they were so simplistic. They were just like the name and a little logo, and the rest of it was just blank.
What about you, Alfonso?
In terms of regular copies, Batman Arkham Knight. But in terms of collector editions, when they have the steelbook case, all of them. Because they look so much better with the way they design it based off the game and the. So yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. I think we'll leave it at that. Otherwise, we'll probably run into too many subjects we could use properly later down the line. So,
thanks, random forum that we won't know who we're from.
Reset Era. You of course are the source of our fun today. So yeah, thanks for that. I literally had to scroll through hundreds of things to get just those questions. So, dear. Right. So yeah, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming, which is Predictions League. Yes.
Predictions League.
Predictions League. Which is a game where we yes, like that. A game so good it leaves you feeling weak at the knees. We, of course, predict what the score of an upcoming game will be, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And whoever gets the closest gets a point. If you get it dead on, you get 2 points, which Ben has done twice already.
Yes, using the power of my stomach.
The power of your stomach. That's one way of doing it. So last week, we had Tim won Shadow of the Colossus by being a point out from the 92, and I won the Dissidia, which was on 75 at the time, down to 69 this week. Sorry, Gary, you would have won if we'd done it later.
Curses.
But last week we only did one because there's only 3 of us here. The 7 Deadly Sins, Knights of Britannia, which got 59. Ben, you did not win on 75. I did not win on 72. Gary won 11 points out, but he was the closest on 70. Which means Gary is finally on the leaderboard with the rest of us. So yes, it's a 3-way tie for third with Alfonso, myself, and Gary. And Tim in second on 2 points, and Ben leads the way with 4.
Said is what everyone's confused about.
So, this week, Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Look, what you do in your meantime, Neil, is up to you, but you don't need to say it on this podcast.
Ahoy. Ahoy. Alfonso, you rarely had the opportunity to go first, so by all means, go first.
I'm going to go with 7-0.
7-0. I will go with 7-8. 78. And Ben.
Oh, we're really close because my stomach is telling me 77.
77. We will see. I think embargoes drop tomorrow or Tuesday, so we will know soon enough on that one. Exciting times. I think it comes out on Tuesday as well.
It looks... I'd say that, but I haven't even looked into it, but it sounds good.
It sounds good. The views of people who have made it, a person that has made it, it doesn't sound so good, but, you know, that's...
I hate how people are not buying it because I'm like...
Well, you know...
I know you don't want us to bore him, but at the same time, if you like the look of the product and it's a game you're going to enjoy, just buy it second hand.
I don't think it's that, though. It's the fact that you don't want to play in a world where those ideals are in it, you know, and because clearly they're going to be. We've had this discussion before.
As I said, buy it second hand. That way they won't get a penny of it.
If you want to, but I think it depends if you really, really want to play it in the first place.
Yeah. But no, it's just that I've heard people that really want to play it but don't want to play it just because of, who's making it. I'm going to try not mention names, but we know at least one person.
I think it is often hard to separate artist from art, no matter how you can say, oh, well, you can, because...
But with this, you don't even have to do that, because if you buy it second hand, the only people that make money are the scammers at GameStop.
I know it's not really about the money. It's more about the feeling that I shouldn't really enjoy this because it was made with these worldviews in mind. It's like saying, I enjoyed the matches of Chris Benoit, but the things he did outside of wrestling are going to forever tarnish his legacy.
I don't know who this person is, but it sounds disappointing.
Basically, he was a wrestler, a very good wrestler, but he ended up ultimately murdering his wife and child. So yes, or indeed the Lost Prophets, the leader of that, turned out to do some pretty unspeakable things. So it's, for me, I used to enjoy that band. I could not listen to them now and enjoy it because of him,
I guess.
So it's all relative. There's many different reasons why you may not enjoy or may not want to support such things. It's like, so it depends on your outlook on that. There's no judging anyone for liking it. I think it's more a case of like, you can understand both sides of why people will still play it, and you can understand why people won't. I think that's the way to see it. I think.
I agree. You shouldn't really judge. It should just,
Yeah. Do your thing, as they say. Okay. Let's end the podcast out with MetaQuote.
Yay!
Which we'll do it to a first to 5 on this one, or first to 3. First person to get 3 right wins.
Oh God, we don't have till next podcast. But
you will be allowed 1 clue.
Ooh.
Each time, okay? And then we'll keep it to PlayStation.
Okay.
As well, to be fair. So don't worry, it won't be too obscure. I promise. Right, so I had games lined up this time, but getting to the bloody scores is the first problem. Right, so okay. This review is by Inuit Dude. He gives the game 3 out of 10. He starts by not capitalising the letter I, so he's serious.
Oh, that sounds like legitimate journalism right there.
I could not play this game. It was too creepy, and there's no way of knowing where you are supposed to go, and I ended it up, I'm reading that as it's written, getting lost. So sorry to say, but this game fell short, and I soon traded it in after I bought it. Ben.
Consider I get lost in 90% of my games. That could be any game ever released, but
a creepy one.
I'm going to go with Silent Hills.
No. Alfonso.
Oh, boy. He says creepy. Okay, so this means this is a horror game.
Or it has horror elements.
Oh, I had a perfect one, and I can't remember what it was called. Damn, I'm gonna pass.
Okay, well, I will give the clue first, and then we'll decide. It was a sort of shooter that came out in 2007 originally.
Oh,
is that your buzzer? So use it every time.
2007. Oh, this sounds so familiar.
yeah, I'm thinking of that Gears of War ripoff.
No.
Quantum Break. No, that's not it.
I was going to say, that came out a lot later. No clue?
Nah, I don't know.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. BioShock.
No wonder. You think it's a good game.
Oh, oh snap. Sugar snap peas. Oh, dear. Okay. Let's see what we got.
One second. I can hear Kevin crying in the background.
Ah, dear. Yeah, so yeah, no point there. You tried, guys. You tried. It was a little tougher than maybe I should have said.
No,
but,
I enjoyed that one actually. It was quite.
Well, yeah, imagine that. That's the reason you give it 3 out of 10. It scared me, and I was lost.
I was picturing that stupid. No, it wasn't Quantum Break, but do you remember that one that was advertised for ages, where it was like a horror Gears of War game?
God. I don't know what that was.
It was like all the pictures looked like it was set in like a tower. But.
Okay. Kyle B gave this game 0 out of 10.
Oh, it must be good.
From now on, if you think you know, buzz in. Yeah. Just how you did before, Ben. Well, you could say your name. That'd be do. Otherwise, I will just open it to alternately between Alfonso first and Ben first, etc. So, the game made to deter people from the PlayStation 2. This game could quite possibly be the worst game I have ever played. I have played some very bad games. The very plot of the game is both pathetic and illy repaired. The story of revenge has gotten to be one of the lamest and most predictable with very lame plot twists. The sole fact the game is based on lust and illegal activities. He didn't go anywhere with that point. He just said it. The game has got to be one of the worst looking games ever on the PS2, save for Rune. This game only saving grace is the freedom of action, which will be brought to a sudden end because of the swift justice brought about from the finest. The weapons are both uninteresting and leave a lot more to the imagination.
Wow.
This game should not be bought, possibly only to be rented, but only on a cheap night. To be fair, they reviewed this a year after it came out as well, so it's not like they came back years later. Alfonso, you're first this time.
Let me get a clue, please.
Oh, you know that it's on PlayStation 2? You know it has freedom.
Okay, so PS2 and it has freedom. Now, what's the free roam on PS2?
I'll have to hurry.
Go, skip to Ben. Let me come back.
Ben?
Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Oh, no. It's so close. So, first fastest finger.
Vice City.
No, you had to. Now it goes to Alfonso by default.
Wait, Vice City? He said.
He said San Andreas, then he said Vice City.
Grand Theft Auto 3.
There you go. Alfonso gets the points.
Oh,
Woo!
I didn't even know it had interesting activities in Grand Theft Auto 3. I mean, it was a good game though. I'll give that. GTA 3 was a good game, but Vice City and San Andreas had more activities in my opinion because you had the whole, eating food and going to the gym thing. You could be Mike.
Yeah. God rest his soul. Dear. Right, okay, next. Anonymous MC, I'm sure we've had this guy before, gives this game 0 out of 10, so apparently it's unplayable past the title screen.
Well, even the title screen's probably bugged. I mean, it's 0 out of 10. Just crashes on the advertisements loading up.
He starts his review by talking as if he's having an ordinary conversation, by saying, that game is awful, not to mention frustrating. Like someone literally asked him, someone was talking about this game and he just interjected in text form. First of all, the parts where you have to ride around in vehicles are horrible. Those parts are long, boring and frustrating due to the horrible controls. I really want to know what game he's playing because none of this sounds right. But the vehicle part of the game was only the first thing that made me hate it. Then, on top of that, you have annoying characters. If it were possible, I would have killed all of my allies within the first 5 seconds of meeting any one of them. And believe me, I tried. Okay. I can't even say the name of it here. Alex is by the worst character by far. Everyone is useless and annoying. Seriously, every 5 minutes, it's, oh look, you're here. He'll do all our work for us because we're lazy, incompetent, or useless. If I was the lead character, I'd just let everyone die, or better yet, kill them all myself. The only thing that would get me to consider playing the sequel would be if I got to go on a murderous rampage killing all of my allies. You waste more ammo than anything with any automatic weapon. It seems that at best 1 to 3 shots hit their mark. It's impossible to aim with them because instead of your spray pattern being affected by how long you hold the trigger, it follows some kind of pattern. Your first shot might hit its target, it might not. It's horribly frustrating. I bought the box set back in January after hearing how great it was. Worst $50 I ever spent, since the only good part of the whole thing is another game. About 4 months ago, I got killed somewhere near the end of the game. After this, I exited the game and haven't played it since. I have no desire to go back and finish or play the following episodes. Then.
What the hell is this?
You know what's worse? I think the guy has got this game confused for its sequel. Which is hilarious.
See, you said episodes and that confused me.
Oh, I know.
Because
yeah.
Before then I was thinking, oh my god, this is Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Because I only bought Black Ops 1 because it had Zork. The best text-based game ever.
It predates Call of Duty as a series by about 5 years.
Well, that screws me over because my other game was after that. So I'm going to have to go with... God damn it, Half-Life 2, episode 1.
Not quite.
Okay.
So it's fastest finger now.
No, but I got quite. Am I close?
You're close, that's why I'm saying fastest finger.
Half-Life 2.
Alfonso?
I don't know. I don't know. I know Ben is close. I was gonna say some random things. I don't know. I'm gonna say SOCOM.
Right. Okay, Alfonso, we've established that it's not SOCOM because we've just said Ben is close.
It's something in the Valve franchises. Possibly Life for Deeds. Oh no, that came out afterwards.
So, one guess left each. Go.
Half-Life 2, episode 2.
You are wrong, Ben.
I don't know. I don't know.
It's the original Half-Life.
Okay.
But by default, he's also confusing it with Half-Life 2.
Yeah, because it doesn't have episodes.
Yes, and also he talks about vehicle sections, which there aren't any.
And even then, that unless no, there is a vehicle section. Remember that immersive train simulator you have.
Oh yeah, the problem with that is that he says it has bad controls. Like you can't control the train.
Maybe he did in his mind. Maybe that's why it's so bad controls.
Maybe. Oh,
like, man, this train isn't being responsive. It's not going left or right.
It ain't going nowhere. Oh, dear. Okay, so yeah, the wonder of people on Metacritic, it seems, is they don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know what game they're slagging off in the first place. Which is saying something. Right, let's see. What is next?
Hey, if none of us get any right, we've got to draw, Alfonso, and I'll accept that.
Yeah. Right, I have my next game. Let's see. Okay, this guy Ayo gives us a game 4 out of 10.
Well, that's actually a score.
Yeah, that's somewhat generous. Adds nothing new. Again, another one that starts with lowercase. Boring go here, kill X, repeat quests. Story and characterization is shockingly poor, especially the ending. Please, capital letters, please do yourself a favour and skip this one, or if you just have to get that free run, jump off a building, stab a guy feeling, just go back and play the last one. It's not like you will notice the difference.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Alfonso's first this time.
Alfonso.
Dead Space.
Say that again?
Dead Space.
No. Ben?
Actually, before giving Alfonso another chance, but do we have an era?
Last era.
Okay. You want to go then? Again, Alfonso?
No, go ahead, Ben. Go ahead.
Arse Creed Unity.
No, because that was this gen.
I thought Unity was PS3.
Nope. First PS4.
Arse Creed Brotherhood.
Correct.
Oh, yes! I got one right! I knew hating Assassin's Creed would come back for me someday.
What a piece. We'll have 2 more. So if someone wins it in these 2, then the score will be what it is. Right. So next. Okay. Let's go. This game, like the show, is heavily contrived, not very creative at all, with a horrible story that has holes everywhere which is lacking in emotional depth. This is corporate shenanigans at its best/worst, cashing in on a trend and not giving 2 shits about the depth or believability of the story, says Ilek, who gave this game 1 out of 10. Ben.
Based on the show.
No, like the show.
Oh, like the show. Defiance.
No.
Oh.
Alfonso.
NCIS the game.
No. We are talking good games, by the way.
I like Defiance. I'm looking forward to the PS4 remake.
Okay. Another guess.
Dragon Ball Raging Blast.
No. Alfonso.
Wait, hold on. It's based on it's like the show. Yeah, I'm passing.
Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
Okay, right. It's fastest finger now, so I'll give you a clue. So the clue is we've talked about it already today.
We did?
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I actually have no idea. So
Me either.
I'm gonna go with One Piece Pirate Warriors.
Your final guess.
Talked about it already. Oh. And we talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I know. It narrows it down somewhat.
I'm gonna say Kingdom Hearts.
Nope. It is The Walking Dead season 1. Which isn't actually based on the TV show. So.
See, that was the problem. I was trying to base something on TV shows.
Too.
And it definitely wasn't going to be Street Fighter, the movie, the game.
This one, it'll be fastest finger, first one to guess.
Okay.
So, say your name. Say say the stuff first. And of course, winner takes all. Right, so Streps gave this game 4 out of 10, which does seem to be the default when you're not trying to be too unkind on a game and ridiculous. Right, it's a bit of a rant one. Masterpiece of game design? Really? Did I bang my head and wake up in 1989? This game offers nothing new, zero innovation, but yet it is being heralded as a masterpiece, capital letter. In every aspect and detail, it offers gamers in 2017. The storytelling is a yawn fest. The Earth has been invaded by blah blahs, but we've managed, in the middle of mass genocide, to build a base on the moon and then build a space station for some unknown reason they couldn't be bothered blowing up. There's a lesson in great storytelling. Not. This is a weak premise for a game, and the story doesn't get any better. It is an antiquated mess of ideas mixed in with some very typical Japanese-inspired cliché characters that are lifeless. I haven't come across a single element that this game offers that is new, or even an element that has been copied and improved from another game. If this game is truly a masterpiece, then the core element of the game, the combat, must be absolutely brilliant. Well, the combat in this game is lame, easy, and requires no skill. None. I spent the entire game running around in circles and holding the range attack button on my thing for all the time.
Final Fantasy 12.
No. This is the worst, most retarded, lazy combat system I have ever played.
I'm still going with 12.
Game of the Year contender? Give me a break. Japanese developers seem to be consistently make the most lackluster, antiquated, empty games.
Final Fantasy 15?
Right, so the clue was that it was made in 2017, so last year. What I will do is go back and quote the second paragraph, but I won't leave stuff out that I left out last time to make it a bit easier. The storytelling is a yawn fest. The Earth has been invaded by alien robots, but we've managed in the middle of mass genocide to build a base on the moon and then build a space station that for some unknown reason the aliens just couldn't be bothered blowing up.
A Stephen King movie game.
No takers?
No takers.
Nah.
Damn.
No, this game sounds amazing, and when you tell me what the name is, I might buy it.
Alright, the final clue is 2 people that are on this podcast that aren't here today absolutely adored this game.
Oh, damn it.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Nope.
That's Square Enix game.
Sorry. Can I track back for a second? Alfonso, when Horizon Zero Dawn?
I know, but
on the moon.
I know.
Near and far.
Wherever you are. Any particular near?
I said near. Nigh.
Or,
You know, N-I-E-R.
yeah, near or
Far. Wherever
a
you
tomato.
are.
No, or a tomato.
Oh, tomato.
So Ben, with half a point,
Yeah.
wins this week's.
Near or to tomato.
And don't forget, if you want to play the Horizon version that has a moon base, go around Alfonso's house. He seems to have it.
You got over with that plot twist at the end of Horizon where you find out the dinosaurs came from the moon.
That came from the moon.
Yeah, Neil, you don't know. See, I got future DLC.
Sure. I mean, to be fair, I haven't
Right
played
from
for
the
it. Alfonso, when you're not discovering moon bases in a post-apocalyptic future, where can people find you?
You can find me on PlayStation at snova34z. You can find me on Twitter at alished7. Want to shout out to you, Neil, and to you, Ben, for having me on again. It feels good to be on for 1 year. And if you have no plans this weekend, go see Marvel's Black Panther.
Yeah, second that.
I have no monies this weekend, so I'll just wish I could go see Marvel's Black Panthers.
You could always sneak in.
Well, no, I have to get a train and a bus and a taxi.
Yeah, that's a pretty...
Well, no, a train and a bus, and then I get a taxi back normally, because the taxi is about the same price as the bus.
Cool.
It's just that the bus, like, is right in front of the train, so it's just easier.
Ben.
Yeah.
When you are not seeing people through the windows, where will find you?
Contact me at Chili UK on Twitter, Chili on PSN. Chili sends you on Fantasy 14 if you play Fantasy 14. You can also find me on Moogle Go Round Radio, Phoenix Down Radio with Klaus, Luna and Saya. I've also guest appeared on Melston Radio, and you can hear an episode where I appeared on She Heals I Tank. But I'm not going to cover every podcast I've been in because that would be so long that by the time I finished it... Oh look, I've got to record another podcast.
Yeah. Cycle ever grows, as they say.
So yeah, thank you.
Well, things. You can find me at Nezco, all lowercase, double Z's. On Twitter, you can email me at neil.bolt@psu.com. And if you would go on the likes of iTunes and rate and review us, it would be lovely. That includes you, Alfonso. You should go and rate and review us on iTunes.
Of course.
Just because it's not at all corrupt now that you're on the show. Honest. So, that would be wonderful anyway. It would help get the podcast notes up. And hopefully we get better and better. Hopefully we'll have a subject matter next week.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I mean...
Maybe we'll take the piss out of EA again. Because Klaus said he enjoyed that show.
I'm sure he did. I love that in that same week I was accused of getting paid off by EA on certain comments on an article I wrote, which was hilarious.
Although I must admit, I did take the piss out of one of your articles recently.
Did you?
Yeah, it was that one where, I can't remember what it was. It was about all these, but you don't expect it. I'm like, what is this, a BuzzFeed article?
Oh, right. That would be the Activision article.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, where I sarcastically might have used the whole BuzzFeed idea for...
Like, how did you don't know how Activision made the money?
It was basically to do with Activision Blizzard had, a quarter of their profits were basically off console microtransactions, like 2 billion of it. Yeah.
It's like, you won't know how Activision made their money. Find out inside.
Yeah, Activision makes a lot of money, and how they do it will shock you.
Yeah, and I took the piss saying, did I go to PSU or did I go to BuzzFeed?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even read it. You know, I didn't read it thinking, oh, God, it's just going to be someone saying exactly that. It was you. Fantastic. So yes, join us next week where there may be 3 of us, maybe 4 of us, 5 of us, or 2 of us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
Or
may
none
not
of
just
us.
be one of us. Well, no, there'll always be me. I can't leave.
Yeah, you are.
I'm tied
Yeah.
to being on this podcast every week.
Yeah, you are the pillar of this podcast.
Because
Yes.
I've been here so long.
Oh, hey! Okay, so yes, we shall see you next week. Taddy bye.
If I don't see you through the week, I'll see you through the window.
But not this week because we can't afford the bus.
No, not this week.